As the summer temperatures start to decline here in the transition zone, it's a great time to evaluate the quality of your lawn.
That's right, Tony. If you have a tall fescue or a Kentucky bluegrass lawn, a lot of times by the end of summer they're looking stressed, they're looking thin. It's a great time to look at renovation.
Renovation is the process of seeding into an existing turf grass stand in order to improve the quality prior to the winter months to come.
How do you know if a renovation is right for you?
If your turf grass stand is 50% or greater weeds or dead turf, it's probably time just to kill it all out and start with a new establishment. However, if you have 50% or greater that is in good condition, it's probably okay to go ahead and go with the renovation process.
And fall is a perfect time to do renovation because the cool season grasses like the cooler temperatures, the warm season summer annuals slow down, and there's a chance for natural precipitation.
You just want to make sure and get that grass established prior to the first frost date for your area.
Before we get started though, Tony, I think it's important to do a site inspection. A site inspection, you look at drainage, you look at irrigation, you look at shade issues, and I would suggest doing a soil test.
Soil test would be a great idea. A soil test would provide us any information on any underlying issues prior to us undergoing the renovation process, and would also provide us a future roadmap for making nutrient recommendations and guidelines.
After you've completed your site inspection, your soil test, and addressed any issues, the next step is mowing. You want to mow down to a point where the seed can get into the soil and sunlight can get into the soil. The most important part with all of that is not to go so low that you actually scalp the grass and cut off the growing point, which is right above the soil.
After the mowing's done, you'll then want to run a verticutter over the area, which will provide vertical seams in the soil and allow for good seed to soil contact, which will help with a successful germination. If you have a lot of compaction in your area, or if you're managing a high thatch producing grass like Kentucky bluegrass, it also is a good idea to run a core aerifier over the area prior to this process.
Now that we've completed the mowing and the verticutting, it's time to address seed and fertilizer. Today we're going to use an 18-24-12 high phosphorus fertilizer. Phosphorus is critical for seed germination and rooting. You want to put down about a pound of actual phosphorus per 1,000 square feet, and you want to make sure you're using a calibrated spreader.
Once you've selected your fertilizer source, you're now ready to move on in selecting your seed. The amount of seed that you're going to need for your job is going to be predetermined by the species that you're trying to grow in your area. For our job today, we're going to be using tall fescue, which is a great home lawn cool season grass for the transition zone due to its durability and its ability to withstand summer stress. Once you've selected your seed, you're ready to put it out, and again, use a calibrated, accurate spreader and try to go in multiple directions to ensure good coverage. Following the application of your seed, it's a good idea to go through the whole area with a leaf rake to ensure that you have good seed to soil contact.
Tony, is there any need for a topper or a mulch?
Yeah, Larry, a topper or mulch can be a very useful product to put down during the seeding process. If you use a product like Profile's Cover Grow Mulch, it really helps to make sure that you have adequate moisture between those irrigation cycles.
Well, speaking of irrigation cycles, it's important that you adjust your clock for the next couple weeks to make sure that you keep it moist during the germination period. You do not want that seed bed to dry out. So what you'll need are very short cycles, but very repeated cycles, like 5 to 7 cycles per day, just to keep it moist and not let it dry out.
That makes sense. All the products that we've highlighted today can be found at your local Ewing branch. Or if you'd like to find out more about the renovation process, sign up for one of our Ewing education classes. You can do that online at ewingirrigation.com.